Welcome to In Motion. This is a series produced by Effervescent. In this series, we take you behind the scenes to show what it actually looks like to live a full circle approach to health. In today's episode, if you are a listener, I would encourage you to be a watcher, especially on YouTube or Spotify. I am in the car because I'm about to take you through a full body day workout. Also, full body day workouts are awesome, especially if you don't want to be in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, because they allow you to go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week and still build a very strong body. I also want to say, if this is your first time going into the gym, it's totally fine. It's going to feel a little nerve-wracking at first, but I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to give you some cues, and we're going to do it together. Join me in warming up. When you're walking into the gym, just remember that everybody is focused way more on themselves than they ever are on you. I know all too well about feeling uncomfortable walking into the gym, especially the busy commercial gyms, but I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to get through this together, and soon enough, you're going to actually find this fun. At least that's my hope. I always like to just find a little place on the turf to warm up. You don't need to warm up for super long. I just like to do some dynamic stretching, so that's stretching done through movement. I also like sitting in some sort of squat variation, just getting all loose. We're going to start with leg press. For me, I'm going to put my legs close together and up on the platform because that hits more glute bias. In this video, you're going to hear me say sets and reps, and if you don't know what that is, let me explain it real fast. So a rep is a short term for repetition. It is a singular time you do a movement. So if you squat down and stand back up, that is one rep. And a set is a group of reps or repetition of that workout. So if I say 3 sets of 10 reps, that means you'll do 10 squats in a row, rest, and then do 10 more for the second set. Rest again, and then do 10 more for the last set. And that is 3 sets total of 10 reps. So for the leg press, you're going to want to sit all the way back until your lower back is super supported. Feet about shoulder width apart, unless you want to do a different variation. And I will put the different variations on the screen depending on what leg development you want. Lower your feet all the way down to about 90 degrees or even lower slowly until your back is about to round. Do not allow your lower back to lift up from your chair. You're going to want it super stable and then come back up. When you come back up, make sure you don't lock your legs out. You're going to want a super slight bend as you're coming up. I do 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps. And if you are a beginner, as always, take this super slow and super easy. Slow and controlled is always what I preach. And if you don't have a leg press, you can alternatively do a squat variation. You can use dumbbells. You can do a hack squat. But leg press is super awesome, especially if you're a beginner. It's incredibly stable and works really well. Even if you're not a beginner, leg press always is in my routine.
Okay. Now we're doing RDLs. RDLs are honestly one of my favorite leg day exercises.
So RDLs are short for Romanian deadlifts, and if you know anything about deadlifts, you know that it's a great full body day workout. So there are some cues that I'm going to tell you, but I just want to let you know, please go light on these at first because the form does take a second to get a hold of. If you have a mirror, you can look at yourself in the mirror. I actually use straps. So if you see in the video, I have these straps that wrap around the barbell because your legs are way stronger than your hands and your wrists are. The limiting factor will be your hands if you do not have straps. So I definitely recommend having straps. So hold the barbell in front of your thighs, hands shoulder width apart outside of your legs, soften your knees slightly. You're going to want to brace your core. So don't hold your breath, but just make everything very strong. You're going to want to stand up, keep your back flat and core engaged as you lower the bar to about mid-shin. You don't want to be rounding your back. As soon as you can't go further down without rounding your back, you're going to want to come back up. And just repeat that. Go super slow and super controlled, and you can look at yourself in the mirror. Just make sure to be very strong during these movements. I will do these for about 6 to 8 reps for 3 sets, and I will do these usually heavier. Okay, on to the last lower body exercise for this full body workout. We are going to do these for 3 sets of 12 reps, but if you are a beginner, I would recommend these for 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. There are many ways you can look up to set up a hip thrust. Depending on your gym, you either will have a contraption or a machine for it, or you will use a barbell and a bench. You can also set these up at home really easy. If you have a pair of dumbbells, you can set a pair of dumbbells on your hips and hip thrust from the couch, using the couch as a makeshift bench. You're going to want your back to be up against kind of right where your lower ribs sit, if that makes sense. So almost where your bra strap would sit. Plant your feet hip width apart on the ground. You're going to want to drive through your heels and lift your hips up as you're tucking your chin. You don't want your back to be extended. You want it to be straight through the movement and really focusing on squeezing your glutes at the very top of the movement, lowering with control and doing it again. Do this with body weight at first if you're learning the movement, or look up Brett Contreras or someone else for more cues for the hip thrust. But I promise you, these are so worth learning the movement. And as always, just remember, if you're a beginner, like, it's supposed to be fun. You don't want to absolutely annihilate yourself where you don't want to come back. It will feel incredible the next few days to know that you worked super hard.
Now we're gonna do lat pull down, 3 sets of like 10 reps.
So with lat pull downs, I usually do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, just super slow and controlled. So pick a weight that feels challenging for 10 to 12 reps, but not a weight that's so hard that you can't do proper form. So for another variation to hit your back, you can do assisted pull-ups or pull-ups in general. Sometimes I will just do as many as possible, so usually around 5 to 6 reps for me. But for the cues, you're going to want to sit tall and grab the bar slightly wider than your shoulder width, and think about pulling your elbows down to your rib cage instead of pulling from your hands, as well as keep your chest lifted and avoid leaning too far back or doing any really sudden jolty movements. So slowly pull the bar down and then back up.
I also want to emphasize to all the beginners in the gym, if you're just getting into the gym, it's like your New Year's resolution or something like that, whatever weight you're lifting is totally fine. You deserve to take up space in the gym. I don't care if you're lifting 2 marshmallows or 300 plates on each side. You deserve to be there. You deserve to take up space, to do your reps, to do your sets. And yeah.
Now onto chest press. So with any type of chest press, I usually like to do dumbbell bench press, but you can do regular bench press, you can do push-ups. So this will target not only your chest, but some parts of your shoulders as well as your triceps. So you're gonna wanna lie flat on your bench, hold the handles or bar at about chest level and press straight up, keeping wrists neutral. Lowering slowly, elbows are about 45-degree angles. So you don't want to flare your elbows out. You want to keep them almost tucked in a little bit as you're going down. But again, push-ups are also a great option. Now onto a seated row or a barbell row. I usually do barbell rows, but dumbbell rows are awesome too. Again, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Unless your back is feeling really fatigued from the other back workout, then you can do 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps instead. So seated rows are great for posture and overall back strength. You're going to want to sit tall and grab the handles, pull your elbows straight back and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Again, it's almost like a scooping motion. So you don't want to pull to your upper chest, you want to almost pull to your rib cage instead. You can use resistance bands if you're at home and pulling them back, or try single arm dumbbell rows on a bench where you're just using the bench as support.
Now we're gonna hit dumbbell shoulder press. You're gonna come right here. I don't want to see you too flared out. Right here is perfect. We're gonna press up.
Ending the full body workout with shoulder press. I usually do dumbbell shoulder press, but you can do military press with the barbell. You can try and do handstands. It'll all work the same upper part of your shoulders. Again, don't have your elbows flared out. Put them in, tuck them in, and press up. It's a really easy motion. I would just say start with lighter weight until you feel more comfortable pressing up. If you're a beginner, again, do 2 sets of 6 to 8 reps. I like to do these a little bit heavier, but please only do what you can do with good form. And as always, thank yourself for showing up today. I do this full body day workout all the time. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't listened to our Effervescent podcast, I absolutely encourage you to do so. It has been such a good time, and I truly hope that this series as well as our podcast is helping you on your health and wellness journey. We are here for you guys, and if there's anything we can do to help you on your way, please DM us, comment down below your questions or your comments, and we will see you next time. Bye.